Brice Show, where we specialize in providing a listening audience with a unique blend of conversation, music, and most importantly, enjoyment. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, it's been a long time that we've, it's been a while since we came to you. But, through the grace of God, we're here and we're healthy. We're still, I guess knee deep in the pandemic. I won't even call it the pandemic because people say, oh, remember when the pandemic, like we still in pandemic. So it's all good. We just navigate in life and navigate. So welcome back. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to the Dr. Brice Show. I got a wonderful guest here today, this afternoon. So I said, you know what? I had an opportunity to create some time and to find some room to be able to interview this wonderful person. And I said, listen, we're going to stop everything and be able to do so. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Miss Latisha Mortise. And she's going to kind of talk to us about, some of her wonderful things that who she is, and then also some wonderful things that she's got going on with her new endeavor and new stuff. So welcome, Ms. Mortise. How are you?
Hi, Jason. Thank you for having me here. I appreciate you allowing me to be on your platform.
Absolutely. So, I know it's a little hot, but it's definitely hot out today. So we definitely love the weather, but it's all good. But listen, tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me, let everybody know. I mean, I've come to know you for a couple of months now,
right?
And I understand your greatness and stuff like that.
You.
But, I want the world to know your greatness as well, too. So tell the world a little bit about yourself. Like, who is Miss Latisha Mortise?
Latisha Mortise. I am a mom. I'm a grandmom. I'm an entrepreneur. Originally from New York City. Came here.
From New York?
Yes, I'm from New York, from Harlem.
Harlem. Okay,
yes,
okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yes, Harlem and Bedford-Stuyvesant. So,
wow, we like family then, because all my family from Harlem and Brooklyn.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's cool.
I came here in let me see, December of 1999. So it's been about 22 years that I've been up here. It's been it's a bit different from New York.
Absolutely. Okay, absolutely.
It's definitely a bit different from New York. So some of the things that I missed that from home, we always had them great soul food restaurants where you could go and you can get your collard greens or your chicken, your rice and peas, whatever it was you wanted.
Absolutely.
And coming up here, I couldn't find any good soul food.
You still can't. I'm struggling. I'll be honest with you. Like honestly, and I don't just want to veer off track for a little bit, but after a while, I get tired of eating Chinese and like Wendy's and stuff like that. I be looking for like some good food. So I say they do have a little halal spot. But I get tired of the halal spot now. So it's wow. I thought it was just me. So
no,
okay,
it's not just you.
Okay.
And then when I would find some place to eat, I'm like, the food is good, but like I could have did this at home. And so No knock against anybody else, but it really kind of made me think a lot that, Dad, you can cook. You're a good cook. Everyone's always telling you, oh, you're such a great cook. Oh, you should venture out. You should do platters. You should do this. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. But the more and more I would go to different places, I'm like, you know what? I can do this.
Okay. Now, okay. So you're cooking. Okay, and we'll catch the audience up about what you're promoting and what you're the endeavor that you're pursuing or purpose to pursue. But let's go to a little history first. So when was the first time you started cooking though? Like, I mean, we know it's back in New York, but when did you start cooking?
I started cooking when I was probably about 5, really.
5? Wow, really?
We were very independent. We had to be very independent. So I could get on the stove at 5 and make some eggs or make some bacon or do some pancakes. Okay. And my love of cooking came from watching my dad. All the time.
Wow.
That was like my connection to him. Okay. My mother can cook, but my dad, because he was absent from the home, so whenever I got time to spend with him, he would usually be cooking. I would watch him. and just anything that he did, I wanted to try to do.
You wanted to try to do too.
So for me, cooking is like connection to him. He's no longer here.
Sure, I'm sorry.
But no, that's fine. But that was like my connection to him, and that's where the love grew from it, and just trying to do different things because I would watch him and remember certain things he would do. So now I do those things.
Same things.
Yeah. So it's kind of like cool. It's real sentimental for me.
Sure. I got you. So, So you're one of those cooks. Well, first of all, we know that that's your specialty, right? Cooking. Right. Okay. But you put a lot of love, like when you know how some people, like I counsel, right? I counsel, I do different things. And when I'm counseling, like I genuinely love to do it. It's like second nature to me. We just having conversation. It's just second nature, right? Mm-hmm. So is that the same thing as it is with cooking? Absolutely. It's 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 cooking. It's also just and this sounds weird, but like being one with food, I like different. Why am I using this with this? How does that connect? Trying to do different things, with food, create new tastes and things like that, So for me, it's therapeutic. Okay. Being able to cook and just what I put into the food, I want when people eat my food that they have an experience. It's not just, I'm hungry, I'm gonna just go grab something to eat. I kind of really want them to have an experience because when I'm cooking, it's really everything I'm doing is just really from the heart. From the heart. Whether it's a sandwich, or some kind of extravagant meal, it's the intent behind it is with love, is with care. Now, are you one of those, like let's say you are you all about presentation, right? So as far as cooking, like for instance, like I like, if I want a sandwich, some people will go to Panera. I call that you're buying a sexy sandwich. I don't want a sexy sandwich. I want a sandwich that could get a little sloppy or whatever, this and that. So some people like presentation and stuff. I don't know. What are you with your food? Or you're just like, I don't really care about the presentation. I just care about whether it tastes good and whether people have the experience, or are you about, it has to be garnished with this and it has to be that, and the potatoes got to look like it came out of the little squeeze thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not. I do believe presentation is very important. Sure, but I'm not that detailed. As far as most people that do that, usually a lot of times they might have been to culinary school and they learn all these different tricks and trades and stuff like that. And that's fine. I'm not against any of that. But I'm not. That's not necessarily me. Of course, I'm not going to bring you a sloppy plate. Right. But it's really more about, when you taste it. And you know what you're going to get. Right. Absolutely. You get that like. Yes. So I don't. I think the food speaks for itself. So I don't really necessarily feel like the need to do all that. But now certain things, if I'm maybe doing a certain kind of an event, if you're catering, maybe like a wedding or whatever the case may be, you may do things try to get a little fancy and with the lemon and the parsley and so on and so forth. But just in normal, no, I'm not really that type of person. You just want to experience presentation. Yeah, absolutely. That's cool. So now you've done weddings, events, and stuff like that before. So talk to me about those experiences and how they've been. I mean, cooking. I'm actually cooking tomorrow, right? So, but when I'm about to cook, and I don't cook like you, I'll be honest with you. Okay, it took me some time. Like I've learned, my grandmother taught me one trick. She said it's always about knowing how to control the temperature. Okay, that's the main thing. Is the controlling the temperature. That's the first thing, actually. And the second thing is knowing how to have the flavor. Yeah. So many of us, when growing up, I just saw Pearl. I didn't call her Pearl. She just put that little container with the red top, Lawry seasoning. So all we did was just that boom, and that's it. I'm like, okay, that's cooking. And I'd make my little food. I'd put Lawry's and eggs, and everything be salty as I don't know what. So what is some of your techniques, or like what things did you learn early on that you still kind of use to this day, I guess? Oh wow. That's I don't really have much of a technique. I don't necessarily follow a recipe.
So and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad. Because my children's always like, Mom, you got to start writing out how much of this you put in there, how much you put of that in there, so that it's a consistent taste every time.
Right.
But for me, it's kind of like, okay, it needs a pinch of this, it needs a pinch of that. Okay. I kind of eye it down. This is, and that's kind of like, that's how I do it. Okay. I do it by what feels right. Okay. So I always go by what feels right. This should go in here. This should go in there. And most times it is usually always on point. A couple of times I had to be like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have did that. Right. But for the most part, it's usually like, yeah, that's a winner right there.
So now, do you get creative? Like, do you get like, they say, let me try this on this or whatever. Okay. So what are some things that you said, let me try this experience?
And
that might be, I realize that might be a little federal, as the kids may say, because those are your secrets.
I'm not gonna give away any
don't
secrets.
Give us those
I'm not gonna give away any secrets, but one of the things that like in seasonings, like I love like my seasoning cabinet, like I have everything under the sun pretty much in there. But just in learning to just how to create them and blend them, so which made me come up with a seasoning blend. So I have a seasoning blend, and it's kind of like.
Wait, I'm sorry. Wait, you have your own seasoning?
Yeah, I should have. I meant to bring it with me, but I do have.
Please tell us about this. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's called That Work. And it really is like
that work.
It really is, and I'm not to my own home because I'm super humble. Absolutely. Because I know everything that I have, God gave it to me. And
sure, absolutely. Amen.
My own.
Amen.
But when it's called That Work, it really is.
It's that work.
It's that work. You could really put it on. You can put it on anything. You put it on your chicken. You can put it on your vegetables. It's especially good on seafood. Okay. We put it on popcorn. We really just.
Wow.
We OD with the seasoning. Wow. And pretty much everyone whoever tasted the season, they like, oh yeah,
it's that work.
That's that work. We need that. So when I first launched it, like I sold out in like maybe 3 days.
Wow.
Like it was gone.
Wow.
So I was like, oh shoot, like wow, like okay.
That work.
Yeah.
That work.
Yeah.
That work. That's what's up. So all right, so now what's the name of you got a new endeavor that you're gonna be doing. Well, first of all, listen, just congratulate. I just want to take the time out to congratulate you sincerely on the fact that you've been cooking since you was 5 years old, right? You saw your father doing it, you know what I'm saying? And you've taken that, and I'm assuming that your father had a love of cooking.
Yeah.
And that's got passed down. Even though he was out of the home, that still got passed down. So that to me right there is God right there, right? So, and so now you've taken that, and now you're going on to a new endeavor.
Right.
So what is this new endeavor?
Okay, so I'm opening a restaurant in Mays Landing. It's called Hood Mills. Hood Mills. And most people, when they hear the word Hood Mills, they are thinking it's very ethnic, very Hood Mills, like in the hood.
Yeah, like a drumstick and a slice of bread. Yeah,
exactly. But that's not what it necessarily. It can mean that, but it's really about the neighborhood and feeding the neighborhood, because although I love cooking and I get a joy out of cooking, but I also get a joy out of helping other people.
Wow. Okay.
So that's what Hood Mills is all about. It's about the neighborhood. How can I help other people through this gift of cooking?
That's great.
So that is what Hood Mills means. That's what it represents. It represents the neighborhood, where we're at, and how to community.
That's what it's about, because that's what we've gotten away from. Yeah. So it's almost like, God's giving you this purpose to create this new endeavor.
Right.
To maybe start that process of wherever you go of bringing that family community type of a fellowship, so to speak, back together. So that's a good thing, man. Wow. Absolutely. So you got restaurant in Mays Landing.
In Mays Landing, yes.
Wow. Congratulations,
thank you.
Sincerely. So now, first of all, when are you open now, or when you open it?
We're not open yet. We're aiming for mid-September.
Okay.
We're just waiting for the health inspector to come out and give the A-OK.
Sure.
So it's not too much left to do, but there's a couple of tweaks that we're working on.
Sure.
So we're hoping by mid-September we'll be able to be in your service in the community and things.
Absolutely. Now you'll now what are we going to see? Some of the things that's going to be served. Like what can we expect?
So we have, of course, soul food. There's your mac and cheese, your collard greens, your cabbage, your chicken, your fish. We also will have like some American food as well, like hamburgers, French fries, that type of thing. And there's also a deli there attached to it. So
so you're gonna have sandwiches and everything too.
Yeah. So it's really a combination of things. So you have something for everybody.
Absolutely.
You should be able to walk in there and be able to get
whatever you want.
It's something for everybody there. We are also working on a vegan menu.
Oh wow!
Right now it's a lot of people that's vegans into that. So we're working on the menu now so we don't want nobody left out.
Sure. Wow. Now, so now you have the chicken, the fried chicken. Any Caribbean oxtails?
Absolutely.
Any brown stew?
You absolutely have your jerk chicken, your oxtails, your curry chicken. You definitely will have that.
It's going to be. Okay. I'm hungry now. I wish you brought me a little sample, a little oxtail or something. I could have nibbled on a little oxtail bone or something.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
Come on, I want that work. Okay, that's good stuff. So, all right. So the name of the restaurant, Hood Meals.
Hood Meals, yes.
Okay, and you talked about the community too. You also do I think we had a conversation. Maybe recently, I think, but we talked about you want to be able to kind of stretch this into where not only you're feeding the community through your restaurant, but also there's some outreach that you want to do as far as like the homeless, and you want to speak about that real quick? Absolutely.
So I also have a nonprofit organization, which is also called Hood Meals as well.
Okay.
And we last year we were able to go to Overbrook High School, and we fed the community for Thanksgiving.
Oh wow!
Everything was free. They came out. It was a really nice experience.
Wow.
So those are some of the things that I like to do as well. I like to be able to feed the homeless, start a pantry.
Wow.
And having that restaurant gives me the opportunity to be able to
do that.
Absolutely. To do that.
Well, I'm gonna speak this into existence. Four Walls would love to partner with Hood Meals to have the Hood Meals feed the homeless for Thanksgiving.
Oh, absolutely. We would love to do that.
So we put
it's
this
done.
on. Yeah, right. We already put this out there.
It's already done.
Okay.
It's done.
So we figure out the menu. We're going to feed the homeless in Camden. So, and maybe even in other areas too, you know what I'm saying? But definitely I'm going to put that out there.
Oh, absolutely.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. I mean, because I could tell you right now, nothing, this is the old thing. It goes from back in time, you know what I mean? Like nothing warms the belly or warms the soul like good food.
I agree.
Nothing, so that's good stuff. That's good stuff. All right. So you said mid-September, we can expect the restaurant to be open.
Right.
Okay. How is that whole process? I mean, is this your first business or a second? Like what? Because that's a process too. I know me going through establishing Four Walls was a heck of a process.
Wow.
But how's that process for you? I'm sure it's challenging at times.
Oh gosh, it is so challenging. Prior to really venturing out on my own, like I always did the catering. So Hood Meals has always been established since 2012, but it was kind of like just dibble and dabble. It wasn't nothing permanent. I was working for other people.
Sure.
And then once the pandemic hit, that really had me to be able to sit back and be like, life is so precious. And we already know that, tomorrow's not promised, but at the rate that people were dying and things that was going on, it was very scary.
Right.
Because it's like, you didn't know what was going to happen for the future. And so I just was like, you know what? I've been living my life taking care of everyone else, whether it be your children, your grandchildren, work, and fulfilling everybody else's dream. I go to work for people, and I'm helping them fulfill their dreams, and I've been sitting on my dreams.
Right.
So that is what really gave me the ability to be able to just step out on faith and say, you know what, I'm not working for anyone else. I'm gonna go to my own thing.
That's right.
God's given me these abilities, and that's what I'm gonna do. And that was a hard decision to make.
I'm sure.
Because when I made that decision, everyone was, well, how you gonna pay your rent? How you gonna do this? And how you gonna do that? And I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
God's gonna provide for me. And
so you're stepping out on faith.
Like literally.
Wow.
Stepping out on faith. And so I did that. And then I started getting contracts to do lunches. Lunches for the kids in daycare sections. Like so I'm like, okay, so that was one avenue. And so I got one contract. Then I got another contract. And through those contracts, I was able to start putting money aside to build toward the catering and so on and so forth. And then I had enough money saved up to actually look for a building. That process was long and a lot of things, didn't go right. And it's been plenty of times in between that time when I was like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. Right. Maybe I shouldn't have did this or I shouldn't have did that. But I was able to get it back together and realize like, okay, you have to keep on trying. So it wasn't easy.
Right.
And it was very scary. It was very challenging. But anything worth having is going to be. It's not going to be easy.
Absolutely.
It's going to be challenging.
Right.
And so that's what makes it worth it, even the more. So now I could look back a little bit and I'm like, okay, wow, I'm here now.
Right.
And
so you see the progress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Listen, and I'm going to recommend you go on this other show that my man does. He's got this show. It's an incredible platform where he highlights business owners, small business owners. It's called Live with M. Dow. It's a great show. So I'm going to recommend you to go on and I'm going to try to connect you guys or whatever.
Absolutely.
But what I do want to ask you though is that, going through those processes though and stuff, did you ever want to quit?
Oh my gosh, so many times.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. Okay. Many times, sometimes I lost confidence in myself, but I'm thankful that because of my faith, and not just because of my faith, I also have a good support system.
Sure.
So when I would have those moments when I felt like giving up, I could reach out to my pastor, I could reach out to my kids and get encouragement,
Right.
Because especially with my children, they have definitely pushed me. They like, Mom, you can do this, like you have it. And in my pastors as well, they've been very instrumental in helping me to stay focused.
Sure.
God said it's for you, then it's for you.
It's for you.
And it doesn't always look like things don't always happen the way you think it should happen because, we have our own mindset of it should look like this. It should be ABC.
Right.
And it's a format we might have.
Right.
But you might have to go a different way, and it doesn't. So it's not always easy. And so to answer your question, it's been times that I felt like giving up, but I'm glad I didn't because look, I could look back and I could say, dang, you got here.
Right.
And every day
you see the progress.
I see a progress every single day. It's not, and so you're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days.
Right.
But keep going.
Right.
Because at the end of the, you got to get back up because if you have a thing in your mind or in your spirit and this is what you want to do and you don't do it.
Right. It's going to
you'll always be like, what if?
What if, right.
What if this?
Regret.
What if that? And you'll be mad at yourself.
That's
so
right.
even if it don't, like with all of this that's going on and things, it's starting to look real promising now.
Right.
But even if it, for some reason, it flukes.
Right.
Will I be disappointed? Of course I'm going to be disappointed. But I tried. I did it. I learned from that experience.
And it's setting you up for the next thing.
Exactly.
So and that's what it is. It's all a process.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
And that's what it is. And that right there, like, because if you think about it, right, you see the growth now, but you didn't see it when you started.
Right.
You didn't see it. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
And that's something that's why I want to recommend you to talk to this my man that does this other show called Live with M. Dow, because he really gets into the nuts and bolts of what made you want to start this, that, and the third. I just wanted to just highlight you and kind of showcase you a little bit, just because of the wonderful things that you're doing. So, but listen, this restaurant's coming soon. In September, Hood Meals.
Yep.
Okay, what's up with the seasoning though? Can people still buy this seasoning?
Yes,
Does that work?
They absolutely can. If you go on my website, it's hoodmeals.com.
Okay, hoodmeals.com.
You can order there, or on IG. I am Hood Mills.
Okay.
So social media, and the restaurant is actually going to be is 901 Boulevard, Route 50 in Mays Landing. So
okay.
Yeah, so it's a really nice spot.
Okay. All right.
I'm really excited.
Listen, you're excited. I'm excited, and I hope our listening audience is going to be excited too. Listen, I just want to thank you for coming on the show. Appreciate you just blessing us with your presence. Next time, just like I said, just bring me a little piece, a little oxtail, a little sliver of fish, something. Just bring me a little something.
I got you.
You know what I mean? But listen, it's been a pleasure though.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Miss Latisha Mortise. All right. Well, listen, that is all we had today. So, we'll come back again in the future. You got a daughter as well, too. She's doing a few things too, right?
Absolutely. She has her dance team. It's called the Dynamite Dancers.
Dynamite Dancers.
And they killing it right now.
Absolutely.
They are,
okay.
They killing it.
So throw me the plug. Let me get her on here too. You know what I'm saying? Try to talk with her. Let me get her. Yeah, okay. I appreciate you.
Dynamite Dancers.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, we out. Talk to y'all later. Enjoy the heat. And the summer's coming to an end. So enjoy these last 2-3 weeks of summer. Y'all take care.